Before we begin, I want to ask you something. When was the last time you heard an old cartoon theme song and instantly felt like a kid again? Maybe it was Scooby-Doo. Maybe He-Man. Maybe ThunderCats, the Smurfs, Transformers, DuckTales, or G.I. Joe. Whatever it was, I'd love to know. Leave a comment below and tell me which 80s cartoon brings back the strongest memories for you. And if you enjoy exploring forgotten Gen X memories and the deeper stories hidden behind them, please subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who grew up during the golden age of Saturday morning cartoons. Because today, we're talking about something most of us never questioned when we were kids. Something that was hiding in plain sight. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. I still remember Saturday mornings. For many Gen X kids, Saturday wasn't just another day. It was an event. A ritual. A sacred part of childhood. You'd wake up early, sometimes before the sun. You'd pour yourself a giant bowl of cereal. You'd sit inches away from the television. And for the next several hours, nothing else mattered. The world disappeared. School disappeared. Chores disappeared. Reality disappeared. There was only the cartoon world. And honestly, it felt magical. Those mornings felt innocent. Pure. Untouchable. Looking back now, they remain some of my favorite childhood memories. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The people creating those experiences weren't always motivated by childhood wonder. Many of them were motivated by something else. Money. The strange thing is that we never saw it. How could we? We were children. We thought the cartoons existed because someone wanted to entertain us. Because someone cared about storytelling. Because someone wanted us to laugh. And some creators absolutely did. Many artists poured their hearts into those shows. But behind the colorful animation was a system most kids never understood. A system that saw us not as viewers, but as customers. Future customers. Tiny customers. And business was booming. The 1980s became a perfect storm. Technology improved. Television expanded. Toy companies grew more powerful. Advertising exploded. And suddenly something changed. Many cartoons weren't being created first and then merchandised later. Instead, the merchandise often came first. The cartoon became the advertisement. The toy became the real product. And we didn't know the difference. Think about it. How many of us watched Transformers and immediately wanted the toys? How many watched He-Man and dreamed of owning Castle Grayskull? How many watched G.I. Joe and begged our parents for action figures? It wasn't an accident. It was working exactly as intended. The cartoons made us emotionally connected to the characters. And once we loved the characters, we wanted to bring them home. The toy aisle became an extension of the television screen. And the television screen became an extension of the toy aisle. I remember walking through stores as a kid. The excitement was overwhelming. Entire shelves filled with characters I knew. Characters I loved. Characters that felt like friends. Looking back now, I realize something. The emotional connection wasn't happening by chance. Those shows were designed to create attachment. Because attachment creates desire. And desire creates sales. As kids, we never noticed. We just thought we were having fun. And to be fair, we were. But that doesn't mean we weren't being influenced. If this story is bringing back memories, take a moment to subscribe, like, and share this video. Not just because it helps the channel, but because these conversations matter. The Gen X experience is part of history now. And every memory shared in the comments helps keep those stories alive. So tell us below. What was the one toy you desperately wanted after seeing it in a cartoon? I guarantee you're not alone. Now here's where things get complicated. Because I don't think this story is entirely negative. That's what makes it interesting. Yes, corporations were marketing to children. Yes, toy companies were using cartoons to drive sales. But those cartoons also gave us something real. Something valuable. Memories. Friendships. Imagination. Adventure. They shaped our childhoods. The emotional impact was genuine. Even if the business model behind it wasn't. And that's where many Gen X adults find themselves today. Caught between two truths. The cartoons meant something. And the cartoons were selling something. Both can be true at the same time. What fascinates me most is how little we questioned advertising back then. Children today grow up surrounded by conversations about algorithms, influencers, and targeted marketing. But Gen X lived through a different era. An era where advertising often disguised itself as entertainment. The lines were blurry. Very blurry. We didn't think of ourselves as consumers. We thought of ourselves as fans. And maybe that's exactly why it worked so well. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if we could go back. Imagine sitting beside our 10-year-old selves. Watching those cartoons again. Would we point out the marketing? Would we explain the strategy? Would we ruin the magic? Honestly, I don't think I would. Because despite everything, those memories still matter. Those mornings still matter. The laughter still matters. The imagination still matters. Even if there was a business plan hiding behind it all. What really surprises me is how emotional these memories become with age. As children, cartoons were entertainment. As adults, they are time machines. A theme song isn't just music anymore. It's a doorway. One note and suddenly you're back in your childhood living room. Back on that carpet. Back holding that cereal bowl. Back before responsibilities. Before bills. Before loss. Before time started moving so fast. That's why nostalgia is powerful. It isn't really about cartoons. It's about who we were when we watched them. And maybe that's why companies still sell nostalgia today. Because nostalgia isn't just a memory. It's an emotion. One of the strongest emotions human beings experience. People don't buy old toys because of plastic. They buy them because of connection. They buy a feeling. A memory. A piece of themselves. And corporations understand that now just as well as they did in the 1980s. Maybe even better. The dark truth isn't that cartoons existed to sell products. The dark truth is realizing how easily our emotions can be influenced. Not just as children. As adults too. The same psychology still exists. The same emotional triggers still exist. The technology has changed. The screens have changed. But human nature hasn't. That's the lesson hidden beneath all those Saturday mornings. And maybe that's why this conversation feels bigger than cartoons. Because it's really about understanding ourselves. If you've made it this far, I want to ask a favor. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these Gen X reflections. Share this video with someone who grew up watching cartoons beside you. A sibling. A childhood friend. A cousin. Someone who remembers those mornings. And leave a comment below telling us. What was your favorite 80s cartoon? And do you think we were watching entertainment? or watching one giant toy commercial. I genuinely want to hear your thoughts. As I get older, I find myself less interested in judging the past, and more interested in understanding it. The truth is, the cartoons gave us joy. They gave us heroes. They gave us stories. They gave us memories that still make us smile decades later. And for that, I'm grateful. But they also taught me something important. Every generation is influenced by something. Every generation is being sold something. The question is whether we recognize it, or whether we only see it years later, like we do now. So the next time you hear an old cartoon theme song, don't turn it off. Listen. Let the memories come back. Remember the excitement. Remember the wonder. Remember the child you used to be. Because that child was real. Those moments were real. Even if there was a marketing strategy hiding behind them. And maybe that's what makes Gen X nostalgia so powerful. It's not just joy. It's joy mixed with understanding. Magic mixed with truth. Innocence mixed with hindsight. Thank you for spending these memories with me. If this video brought back a piece of your childhood, please subscribe and become part of our growing Gen X community. Like this video so more people can rediscover the stories of their generation. Share it with someone who remembers Saturday morning cartoons. And most importantly, leave a comment below with the cartoon you'll never forget. Because every comment is another memory preserved. And every memory reminds us that while childhood may be gone, the stories never really leave us. Until next time, take care. And never forget. Sometimes the things we loved most were selling us something. But sometimes they also gave us memories worth keeping forever.